Welcome back to Metal Rules TV, where the underground meets the playground. We're here with Chris and Tim of Faith or Fear.
Amazing.
Amazing, thanks. Let's go back a little bit before we get into the new stuff. I want to just kind of complete the history of
Josh's
Faith or
history.
Fear. My history?
Josh's history lesson.
Yeah. Well, hey, not everybody there knows all the details. And I have questions from all those times because there was no internet back then. But anyway, let's go. We just talked about the band stopping, and then soon after.
Quick question having to do with the band stopping. What did you do with yourself in the stopping ages?
Got married, had kids, and all that stuff. Right?
So I think there was a 17-year break in there. Married, 3 kids, married, kids. You know, CJ, so everybody just went on and did their thing, and there really wasn't for the mere fact that it took 17 years to finally get to the point where I feel like playing again. I mean, that usually will happen a lot quicker with other bands, and here with this band, we had just had enough, and it was just like after 17 years, it was like 17. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, did you still other things? Well, we did the Wagon Head, so that took place. That was getting back together and playing almost immediately, which you would cover.
But that was cover band music.
Right,
so
exactly. I also got together with some guys and was doing. It was called Moby Dick, and it was a Zeppelin cover band. And you know, we played out one time, and that just didn't pan out. And then there was a long lull of doing nothing but getting crazy.
Did you still stay in touch with your metal roots though, and still like buy stuff and stay on top of what's going on in the metal world?
Yeah. I'd say so, definitely.
Part.
Yeah, I followed.
Might have lost a little.
Went to
might have
shows
lost a
and
step and got a little.
Went to shows. Still, I had become real good friends with Paul Bostaph from Forbidden, who ended up being the drummer for Faith or Fear. For Slayer.
Slayer.
So that's cool. I always followed up on what Slayer was doing just because I was good friends with Paul. So yeah, definitely stayed up on it. But had no desire to get back into it till we did.
And part of that, you had in '93. It was a near fatal car accident for you. I'm sure everybody's heard about it, but I mean that took years to recover from that, right?
Yeah,
just to get back to playing and all that.
Yeah. Passenger in a Jeep flipped over, and
the new album.
If you look closely into the album
influenced.
Titanium, there's some answers to that whole. There's a lot about that accident that's in that CD, including the CD itself.
Right before Titanium, you guys do end up getting back together, and you do Instruments of Death, which is I know we talked off camera, but it's a rare and unreleased stuff up until that point for Faith or Fear.
True.
So how do you guys? I mean, you talked about you just one day you're like talking to CJ and you're like, let's do this. So how does it go from that to let's release a bunch of stuff we never got to release?
That happened with just one show that we did at J.C. Dobbs in November of 2008. So 4 years ago.
Yeah, we were just going to get together and do a reunion show.
Just a reunion. That was the plan.
And then it became a couple more shows, and that Dobbs show.
That show was packed. We're on South Street. We're playing the legendary J.C. Dobbs, and as far as you can see, even out into the street, there's just people. We're
with
like,
ample bass, totally old school. And we, unlike them, they played J.C. Dobbs before. Even in the whole heyday and all those other shows, we had never set foot on that. We never played J.C.
Oh, really? That was the first time you guys played that?
And it was packed.
Huh.
Yeah.
And then there was things, talk of, this wasn't just going and seeing a reunion band. Like the energy level we had as the band while we played, we were all, it's not like tooting our own horn. We were so up for that show.
Yeah.
And we really, we laid into it.
It went from us not wanting to leave this as a reunion and maybe actually reforming and getting back together to fans in the crowd calling like within a few days going, you can't just let this be a reunion show. You guys are just on fire. Look at the crowd. Look at everybody who still likes your band. Which led to one guy named Johnny Valley from Philadelphia, who called a guy out in Idaho. From Lost and Found Records, Brian Anderson. He called Brian. I had a phone call within a month of that show from Brian Anderson out in Idaho going, we need to do something. I've heard what's going on with True Life. You've got all these other recordings. I'm willing to back you guys up. I'm all the way out here. It doesn't make a difference. I'll back you up as a record label. Let's just get a lot of stuff out there. Lost and Found Records as a record label specializes in what the title of the record label says. lost and found. They're less interested in new music than they are in gathering demos and things of what you have not released on a national level. They want to hear the nitty gritty. They want to hear the demos. They want to hear.
I think I heard an Intruder album off them too. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah,
Reissue too.
Reissue.
Yeah,
he bought the whole combat catalog.
I love Intruder.
So with his help, quickly within 3 or 4 months, actually within 6 months of his phone call, we were able to release Instruments of Death. He even got Ed Repka, who did album covers. He did like almost every Megadeth album cover.
Right.
Did Biohazard, did Misfits, did everybody. Got a contract with him. He's like, guys, I even got it to the point where that's going to be your album cover, which it is.
Yeah.
For that
it's
record.
Awesome album.
So
it is. And
he just made it.
I'd have been standing on my head because we wanted something like that.
Yeah.
You saw what we got on Punishment Area.
Brian Anderson definitely made it happen for us. That's the reason that we continued on to and are continuing on now. And now we're lucky with this brand new Titanium album. It's a dual record label. Brian's still staying on with us, but we're now partnering also with CM Carroll, Chris from Toil Records, and he's doing us really well too on his end. So we're happy. We're happy because now we've got a local Philadelphia connection, and we've got Brian out in Idaho, who will largely takes care of things that are international. Like he really has a lot of footholds in Japan, Sweden, South America, Germany, England.
Awesome.
So how could you not want to be with somebody like that that's pushing and putting your records in stores?
Right.
That's my ultimate goal. Money is never the point. It's where is my album and my artistic creation?
Yeah. Reaching your audience, right?
How are we going to... Could I do that on my own? No, I can't, but I need people that are distributors that can do that for me.
Of course.
You can't get it in South America, but I can.
Right,
so that's
exactly.
cool. Well, then guess what? I'm interested in what you can do for me because I as an artist, I want it in as many galleries as I can.
Yeah.
Not just here in Philly. I wanted it in as many across the world.
We did the same thing with the magazine. We had all kinds of small distributors, so we could get it in all different. We were in Slovakia and the Czech Republic and all that.
Right.
Maybe it might be getting 50 of them there or whatever and shipping them there, but we wanted them everywhere. Sometimes it was cost more money to send them there than it even could get back, but it was getting it out there. Yeah, it was very rewarding. Yeah.
Were there any issues with the Instruments of Death? Were there any like legal rights from Combat or anybody else, even though it wasn't released? And it was on their dime or anything like that?
Because none of the songs that were on Combat, except for Instruments of Death, the song itself, were released anywhere else.
Right, that was the bonus track.
That was the bonus track, and we re-recorded it, which when we did our legal legwork and checked into it, if you re-recorded it, it was a whole different...
Right, because we were able...
Yeah, we had a lawyer tell us, no, as long as you re-recorded it, now if you use the same track from the Combat record, there's a problem.
Okay.
However, if now you re-record it...
re-recorded
and not to mention, Ed was the new drummer. Combat was with Rich.
Right.
So there were different aspects, and he said, now you can go ahead and do it, there's no problem.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, look!